Pentagon just confirmed something that sent shockwaves through defense circles worldwide. The F-15EX passes crucial test, secures its future in U.S. Air Fleet. At Eglin Air Force Base in Florida, throughout 2024, a jet that critics dismissed as obsolete went head-to-head against simulated fifth-generation stealth fighters. The results weren't close. Detection at extreme ranges, weapons delivered with precision while surviving advanced threats, an 83% mission-capable rate that left even the F-35 trailing behind. And what happened next stunned adversaries from Beijing to Moscow. Before we understand how a Cold War design just outperformed cutting-edge stealth technology, you need to know what was at stake. The Pentagon's Director of Operational Test and Evaluation released its 2024 annual report, and buried in those classified pages was a bombshell assessment. The F-15EX Eagle II wasn't just evaluated for routine air superiority missions. It faced offensive counter-air operations, defensive counter-air, cruise missile defense, and escort missions for high-value aircraft against surrogate fifth-generation adversary threats. That mission-capable rate of 83.13% doesn't just beat the F-35's fleet-wide average of 67.15%. It means when commanders need air power right now, the Eagle is ready. Congress noticed. They added funding to increase the program from 98 aircraft to 129, a 31% jump backed by both parties. The strategic question isn't whether this jet works anymore. It's why America is betting billions on a platform that first flew in 1976, while China rolls out J-20 stealth fighters and Russia deploys the Su-57. The F-15 Eagle entered service with the United States Air Force in 1976 as America's answer to Soviet air superiority threats. The original design philosophy was simple: not a pound for air to ground. Pure dominance of the skies. Over nearly 5 decades, that philosophy proved unbeatable. Not a single F-15 has ever been shot down in air-to-air combat. 104 victories, 0 losses, an undefeated record spanning conflicts across the Middle East. But by 2020, the fleet showed its age. The F-15C models were reaching the end of their structural lifespan. Meanwhile, near-peer adversaries weren't standing still. China unveiled the J-20 stealth fighter with advanced sensor fusion and low observability. Russia showcased the Su-57 with thrust vectoring and stealth characteristics. Defense analysts worldwide declared the same verdict: retire the Eagle. The future belongs to stealth. Boeing and the Air Force disagreed. Instead of abandoning a proven airframe with 5 decades of combat success, they engineered a complete transformation. The result became the F-15EX Eagle II, a 4th-generation platform rebuilt with 21st century technology. The new radar system extends detection ranges beyond anything the original Eagle could achieve. Digital fly-by-wire controls replaced hydraulic systems, giving pilots precision handling even at slow speeds. An advanced electronic warfare suite called EPAWSS, Eagle Passive Active Warning Survivability System, provides threat detection and jamming capabilities against 4th and 5th generation systems. Open Mission Systems architecture allows rapid integration of new weapons and sensors without major hardware changes. The weapon's capacity increased dramatically, up to 29,500 pounds of ordnance, with the ability to carry 12 AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles for air-to-air combat, or 3 massive AGM-158 JSSM cruise missiles for long-range strike missions. Conformal fuel tanks extend operational range. 2 powerful engines push the aircraft to Mach 2.5. The design philosophy evolved. The F-15EX wasn't built to replace stealth fighters like the F-35. It was engineered to fight alongside them. A missile truck with a modern brain that could flood hostile airspace with firepower, while stealth platforms penetrated enemy defenses. And in 2024, the Pentagon put that concept through the toughest operational testing regime in military aviation. Before we continue with what those tests revealed, if military technology fascinates you, type SHIELD in the comments and hit subscribe. Over 98% of people watch without subscribing, and your support helps us bring you more in-depth defense analysis like this. Meanwhile, Across the Pacific and in the Kremlin, intelligence analysts watched America's testing program with intense interest. China has invested heavily in anti-access, area denial strategies, building layered air defense networks, and deploying advanced fighters like the J-20 to contest U.S. air superiority in the Western Pacific. Russian military planners have similarly focused on integrated air defense systems and fifth-generation fighters to challenge NATO air operations. Both nations assumed America's path forward relied exclusively on low observable stealth platforms, expensive, limited in number, and carrying fewer weapons per sortie. The F-15EX testing results disrupted those calculations. When the Director of Operational Test and Evaluation declared the jet operationally effective in every single air superiority role, the implications rippled through adversary strategic planning. The report specified performance against surrogate fifth-generation adversary aircraft, simulated stealth fighters with characteristics matching potential threats. The Pentagon deliberately didn't reveal exact parameters of what surrogate meant in classified testing scenarios. They won't hand China or Russia a roadmap of American evaluation methods. But fifth-generation fighters, by definition, possess stealth characteristics, sensor fusion capabilities, advanced avionics, and high performance across multiple domains. What adversaries observed was alarming. A non-stealth platform detecting and tracking all threats at advantageous ranges. The F-15EX used onboard systems, that advanced radar, and EPAWSS electronic warfare suite, combined with off-board sensors to identify targets. It delivered weapons successfully. And critically, it survived in contested environments. The jet doesn't rely on stealth to penetrate defenses. Instead, it sees farther with radar that outranges many threat systems, shoots farther with extended range missiles, and carries more weapons, up to 12 air-to-air missiles simultaneously. According to defense analysts quoted in the Pentagon report, this capability forces adversaries to allocate more defensive resources. If stealth fighters can penetrate undetected, and Eagles can engage from extended ranges with massive missile capacity, layered defenses become exponentially more complex. The reliability numbers told an equally concerning story for potential adversaries. Meeting nearly all reliability, availability, and maintainability requirements meant the F-15EX maintains that 83.113% mission-capable rate consistently. Compare that to the F-35's fleet-wide average of 67.15%, and the operational mathematics become clear. The Eagle II is ready to fly more often, needs less maintenance downtime, and when commanders launch sorties, more aircraft are available. That reliability translates directly to sustained combat operations, the ability to generate more sorties per day, maintain air superiority for extended periods, and pressure adversary decision-making cycles. Pilot assessments from cockpit surveys added another dimension. Large touchscreen displays, digital helmet-mounted cueing systems, and fly-by-wire controls that make the jet handle beautifully even at slow speeds created an intuitive combat environment. One test pilot described the F-15EX as feels like flying a jet from the future, wrapped in the trusted body of a legend. High pilot satisfaction translates to effective employment in combat scenarios, and that legendary track record, 0 losses in air-to-air combat over decades of service, means pilots trust the platform when entering contested airspace. What adversaries discovered changed the strategic calculus entirely. The F-15EX wasn't just passing tests. It was demonstrating a capability that invalidated years of their planning assumptions. The Pentagon's independent testing organization confirmed the jet performed effectively across offensive counter-air, defensive counter-air, cruise missile defense, and escort missions for high-value aircraft. That comprehensive mission set meant one platform could perform multiple critical roles previously requiring different specialized aircraft. The hidden advantage lies in open mission systems architecture. When China develops a new long-range missile like the PL-15, PL-16, or PL-17, all referenced in the Pentagon report as emerging threats, the F-15EX can integrate countermeasures rapidly. No major hardware redesign. Software updates, new sensors, and weapons integration happen on compressed timelines. The jet evolves as threats evolve, maintaining relevance across decades of service life. The electronic warfare suite proved decisive in testing. EPAWSS, built by BAE Systems and integrated by Boeing, protects the aircraft in contested airspace by detecting threats, jamming enemy radar, and providing real-time warnings to pilots. The Pentagon tested this system against 4th and 5th generation threats and rated it operationally effective. That assessment meant the jet could operate in environments saturated with advanced surface-to-air missiles and hostile fighters, exactly the scenarios anticipated in potential conflict with near-peer adversaries. The weapon's capacity fundamentally alters engagement mathematics. Loading 12. AIM-120. AMRAAM missiles gives the F-15EX a magazine depth no stealth fighter can match. In beyond visual range combat scenarios, more missiles translate directly to more engagement opportunities. The aircraft can target multiple threats simultaneously, support defensive counter-air missions over friendly territory, or establish combat air patrols with extended loiter time. Those conformal fuel tanks and powerful engines enable missions lasting hours without aerial refueling. The revelation that stunned defense planners. America wasn't abandoning 4th generation platforms. It was creating a high-low mix where stealth fighters penetrate contested environments and upgraded Eagles flood the battle space with firepower at lower per unit costs. Production runs at Boeing's St. Louis facility reflect this strategy. 90 F-15EX fighters currently moving through assembly lines with a goal of 2 aircraft per month by the end of 2026. The Air Force originally planned 144 aircraft, reduced to 98 in budget negotiations, then increased to 129 after Congress reviewed test results. That 31% increase signals confidence from both parties that the platform addresses genuine capability gaps. Subscribe now, because what comes next reveals how this single aircraft is reshaping America's air combat strategy for the next 3 decades. The international implications and budget decisions that follow will determine air superiority across multiple theaters. Production acceleration is already underway. Boeing delivered the first operational jets to the Oregon Air National Guard in 2024. By early 2025, Lot 2 deliveries began, 12 additional aircraft scheduled for completion by year's end. That production timeline matters because replacement of aging F-15C models is time-sensitive. These aircraft are reaching structural limits, and delays create capability gaps at precisely the moment when China expands its air force and Russia modernizes its bomber fleet. The international response validates American strategic decisions. Israel ordered 25 F-15EX fighters with an option for 25 more in a $5.2 billion deal, with deliveries starting in 2031. Other nations are watching closely, evaluating whether this upgraded 4th generation platform offers capabilities their air forces need. The Eagle's reputation, that perfect air-to-air combat record, speaks louder than marketing materials. Countries facing regional threats but unable to afford large fleets of stealth fighters see the F-15X as a proven solution with modern technology. Budget implications extend beyond aircraft procurement. The F-15X shares 70% of its parts with existing F-15 variants. That commonality means maintenance crews already possess relevant technical knowledge. No extensive new logistics chains, no complete retraining of technicians, no construction of entirely new maintenance facilities. Air National Guard units can transition smoothly from older Eagle variants to the EX model, preserving institutional knowledge and operational experience. Bases like Kingsley Field in Oregon, Kadena Air Base in Japan, and Selfridge in Michigan are receiving these jets for strategic positioning, homeland defense, Pacific deterrence, and rapid response missions. Expert predictions focus on force structure decisions over the next decade. According to defense analysts quoted in military publications, the Air Force will likely maintain a mixed fleet where F-35s conduct initial penetration of contested airspace, while F-15EX aircraft establish air superiority in surrounding regions, intercept cruise missiles, and provide escort for bombers and tankers. That complementary relationship maximizes the strengths of both platforms. The exact distribution remains subject to budget negotiations and evolving threat assessments. The Pentagon report acknowledged one critical limitation. Tests didn't include some of the most advanced long-range threat weapons currently coming online, specifically new Chinese missiles like the PL-15, PL-16, and PL-17. These represent long-range, high-speed, difficult-to-jam weapons designed explicitly to target US aircraft. Follow-on testing is planned to evaluate F-15EX performance against these cutting-edge threats, but the aircraft was designed with growth capacity. Better missiles are coming for US forces too. The AIM-260 long-range air-to-air missile will arm the F-15EX once operational. That growth potential means the platform can maintain relevance as adversary capabilities advance. The timeline for complete fleet fielding extends through the early 2030s. Reaching 129 aircraft at 2 per month production rate takes roughly 5 years from current status. During that period, geopolitical tensions may shift, budget priorities could change, and new threats will certainly emerge. The exact details of future procurement remain subject to congressional appropriations and Air Force requirements reviews. But the fundamental decision is locked in. The F-15EX has secured its future in America's air fleet. The most important takeaway: America isn't choosing between old and new technology. It's integrating proven platforms with modern capabilities to create layered air superiority that adversaries can't counter cost-effectively. The F-15EX crushed its tests because it fills a critical role that stealth fighters alone can't address. The missile truck that stays in the fight longer, hits harder, and maintains readiness rates that keep commanders confident. Do you think the F-15EX represents the right balance between cost and capability for America's air combat needs? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more defense technology analysis. And next time, we'll examine how China's J-20 program is responding to America's 4th generation revival. This Eagle isn't retiring, it's just getting started.